Welcome to episode 3 of Play Some D with me, Coach D. Here back for the third installment in 3 weeks. I find that as a victory. Consistency is the key, baby. But yeah, episode 3, and today I'm kind of just ready to get after it, chop it up a little bit about 4 relatively different topics. It's actually pretty crazy. I'm shocked that I have gone this far without talking about basketball, but we are going to talk some basketball today. Let me back up real quickly. Play Some D podcast is a variety podcast that I just chop it up about anything that might be on my mind from the, not necessarily the previous week, but I would like to stay current with news or current events, music, sports, movies, video games, entertainment, all things that people, I guess, have a somewhat of an interest in. I would like to keep it relevant, but it'll be a variety. I'm one of those people. Some things like, oh, I want to talk about that, and I get to talking about it. So that's what this is. But for today, EP3, I must almost did it last week, but must speak on the NFL quarterback. So that's gonna come here right now, coming up really quickly. We're going to talk about the New Jersey Nets and what they're doing right now. We're going to talk about the overrated fast food chains. It's just been in the back of my brain somewhere over here, just irking me. So I just did a little bit of digging and just didn't find much difference. But whatever. Overrated fast food chains. And for the gamers out there, we're going to talk about Call of Duty Cold War / Warzone Season 2. But with that being said, please like the video. Please subscribe for me. Turn on them post notifications. And we'll tip this baby off. First quarter, we're going to tip it over to NFL QB changes. Let me pop that up on the board. But yeah, just some NFL. This is probably, oh man, I don't remember an off season. I don't ever remember. I've been watching football since I've been been knowing about football or engaged in football since '95. Probably watching it consistently since maybe '98 or '99. I just don't remember this much activity possibly happening at the quarterback position. It just this type of frequency that looks like that's about to go down. Obviously, the big player right now is Mr. Watson, Deshaun Watson. He wants out of Houston, and rightfully so. After you get rid of arguably one of the best receivers in the league, for arguably one of the worst running backs in the league, I think you kind of got to evaluate the team. And then obviously there was personal things as far as, he wanted to have some say-so, or he was promised some say-so. And as far as the trust issues and things like that, that's out of my realm. But if all of it's true, I get it. I totally get it. I mean, you pay that man all that money. He wants to be committed to the franchise. He wants to win. It's interesting always seeing that clip when J.J. Watt saying they wasted one of his years, because it's tough. NFL is really, really hard. And you make a quick mistake and boom, you're at the playoffs. Boom, you're at a Super Bowl and you squander it away, i.e., Chiefs this year, and you may not ever get back again. So it's kind of smart of him to say, I'm done, I'm out, I'm healthy, I'm at a good level in my career, trying to get better. And I want to have the opportunity to win, especially when it's, I'm sure he feels like some of his peers are really solid, and there's a lot of good teams out there that's gonna compete. So where he goes, that's kind of, I think that's more so what I just wanted to briefly, maybe it won't be briefly, but that's what I want to talk about. Just kind of like where these quarterbacks, where I think they probably should go. For Deshaun, I just think for him, it could really be anywhere. It could really be anywhere. I saw an interesting scenario. I guess we'll just start with the Saints. I guess in relation to Deshaun, I was just thinking like, man, that would just make so much sense for him to go there. He would compete there. But the trade, they don't have any picks to trade, so it doesn't look like that'll happen. But that off the top of my head, that makes like man, that'd be awesome if he could go there. Obviously, the 49ers, I guess, and the Panthers, the Panthers, I guess, put together some crazy offer or a really good offer for Matthew Stafford, but Matthew Stafford was able to pick where he wanted to go, so he went. He was able to get to the Rams, and Jared Goff went to the Lions. So I don't really want to see. I don't really want to see Deshaun Watson with the Panthers. Him and Christian McCaffrey could be really crazy together, but I don't know. I mean, maybe it's something. But it looks like the 49ers and Panthers probably will get the package together for him. I don't think anybody wants to be in Windy City, Chicago. I don't think he would want to beat the Patriots. The Jets is interesting a little bit, but the other one that I found intriguing to me would be if I was Urban Meyer. I don't know if he has, but and I don't know if exactly how the trade would work. But if I was Urban, I would look at trading that first pick for Deshaun. I mean, why not get the sure thing? I mean, I would clearly get the sure thing quarterback out the way. Trevor's looks like he's gonna be solid, but I mean, Deshaun is, he's really good. So that's something I would be intrigued with. And then I guess the Broncos. The Broncos do make some sense as well. I think that would make some sense for him as well. The big news this week though was Carson Wentz to the Colts, and that made nothing but sense. I think that's when I always think about trades and you see some trades and that didn't make any sense. I think it's logical to see what makes sense. And I know some owners are friends to each other and GMs and things of that nature, so they probably scratch each other's back. I'm sure that happens often. But Carson Wentz to the Colts just made nothing but sense. There, as long as he can just not make mistakes, they'll be right there in the AFC. No doubt about it. I have no doubt in my mind. The Raiders and Derek Carr is interesting because I don't think Marcus Mariota and Derek Carr, I mean, I don't know if you gain anything. Now, as far as trading for Deshaun or maybe swapping like a Jimmy G or something like that, once again, unless you're upgrading that position, I think you stay on that same level playing where you're not winning a Super Bowl. Well, you're not competing with Derek Carr. Well, you'll compete, you'll win games, but when it's winning time, you're playing from behind with those quarterbacks against the top AFC quarterbacks, in my opinion. Washington is interesting as well. I don't know how that's all going to work out. I do think most people are waiting on the Jets to make a decision with Sam Darnold, which is just a whole nother scratcher for me because I would probably just trade that second. For me, I'm not a pick person. I don't think there's much value in one player because the number 2 pick is very valuable right now. But as soon as that pick becomes the player, it's not as valuable anymore. So Sam Darnold, I guess he'll probably be the next. I mean, well, that block helps everybody else kind of fill in the pieces, and Darnold could go anywhere. I don't think there's a place that makes perfect sense for Darnold. Colts made sense for everybody. For Darnold now, I mean, wherever he goes, he'll probably be still playing with the depleted squad. I mean, he's never had really anything to throw to. No running backs. Offensive line's been bad. He got a bad shake, so we'll see how that goes. San Francisco is done with Jimmy G, and I think the Dolphins are probably giving up on Tua. I never thought Tua was very good. Never thought he should have been drafted that early. And then the biggest shocker is Russell Wilson. That could be something. I highly doubt it turns into something. I think at the end of the day they start the season with him, but if it gets rocky, I could see the talks coming in season. Just trade him now unless they get like a crazy deal and somebody to replace him. They probably don't do it. Dak is also interesting. Dak is interesting. I don't know what the Cowboys do with that. I mean, they could. It's just so many dominoes that could fall first. I think everybody's kind of afraid to make the first play. Like I said, I do think the Jets, trying to figure out what the Jets want to do and then figuring out what Deshaun Watson wants to do, I think that'll make everybody else kind of start, okay, now I go get this quarterback, now I go get this quarterback, which makes sense. But Dallas could go and, possibly get a Kirk Cousins or Matt Ryan. Maybe they don't want to, but somebody serviceable for now, just to get them through. Paying Dak, because I think now you have to pay. If the Cowboys stay with Dak, you have to pay him. I mean, he just blew his ankle up for you playing. You kind of gotta. I don't. Franchises it will be wrong to do that again. So, but I mean, Jerry is a madman. So who knows? Cam, Mitch, and Jameis. I mean, I think they all kind of fall in that lower tier. Well, honestly, I'll just put it like this. For me, I think the Saints have to go with Jameis. You go with Jameis or Taysom. You just ride with it because that team is right there. If Drew could throw the ball down the field, I think they beat the Bucs. They were better than the Bucs. If they just had somebody to throw the ball down the field with some velocity, I think they probably win that game. They probably go into the Super Bowl and probably win that game too. So I don't think the Saints are in that dire need. They just need to pick one of those guys and go with their skill sets and hope they don't turn the ball over. I think it's really that simple for the New Orleans Saints. They got so much talent. Now, Cam and Mitch, I don't think anybody wants to touch Mitch, and I don't think really anybody wants to touch Cam. So it'll be interesting to see how that winds out after the rookies. It looks like the rookies will be Zach, Fields, Lawrence, and Mac Jones. I guess Mac Jones is probably going to go early, and that's so those 4 quarterbacks that take up a job. So you leave Mitch, and it looks like Mitch and Cam will probably be on the outside. They'll be one of those quarterbacks on the outside looking in. As far as I touched on earlier, my take on the Goff and Stafford thing, that's just weird. I don't know how McVay gives up on Goff that early for Matthew Stafford, but I guess they're buddies and maybe it'll work out. And then Goff now has something to prove, and maybe he can be a little more, I don't know, maybe he can air it out. He won't be under that McVay offense. I have a hot take as far as I've heard. Nobody talk about is that I think the Sean McVay scheme, gimmick, whatever you call it, I think everybody's catching on. I do think that's exactly what it is. Ever since Todd Gurley left, they can't run the ball. That offense has never been explosive, and it has nothing to do with Jared Goff. The play calls, the routes, I don't know. I mean, I watch the Rams quite often, so could have been Goff. It could be they didn't have a running back for 5/6 of the season, 4/5 of the season, something like that. It didn't have a running game, and their wide receivers, I mean, Cup and Robert Woods, they're good, but they're not your top tier receiver. They're a good duo, but they're 2s and 3s, a slot and a number 2. They don't have a one guy, and their tight ends they're all right. So that's kind of my take on that. So we'll see. The Lions suck, so Goff might get engulfed. Who knows? So yeah, that's kind of my take on the quarterback thing. It's going to be, just looking here, it's just going to be a wild ride. I don't know. I mean, Jimmy G going back to New England, really the only thing that makes sense to me. I just never thought Jimmy G was very good. So maybe him rounding back to New England where he's comfortable and they're comfortable with him. And maybe if he just stays healthy too, because I mean, honestly, I'm being a little unfair on him because, I mean, he can't really stay on the field, and that may not be his fault because I know that the ACL tear was a freak accident. I wouldn't even chalk that up to being injury prone. Sometimes you feel like a guy is injury prone. I don't know if that was the case, but that was just, that could have happened to anybody. I mean, the best Iron Man could have been running down that sideline and knee just gave out. So that's that for the quarterbacks. So yeah, I'm just very, very interested to see where all these guys go. But I think the big dominoes are Deshaun. That everybody wants him, and what the Jets end up doing, because if they don't take Fields 2, then a lot of people are going to be calling for number 2, and I think they could get a haul for that. I just don't think you take a receiver at number 2, or I think you fall back. The Jets need a lot. I think you fall back and get more players, and hopefully, if you have, I don't know, 9 picks or however many picks they have, if you can get a 30 of picks, you get 3 or 4 guys that can contribute instead of maybe 1, maybe 2 solids, and you get 4. I just think it's better numbers if you got good scouts and things of that nature. Receivers come a dime a dozen. There'll be a bunch of receivers coming out this year. You can get a good receiver that you could get the ball to. Gotta protect them. Gotta have a running game, and build that defense up a little bit more. I mean, the defense is ready. They just need a little more pieces. So that's the 2 dominoes that I think will then trickle down to everybody else. Like I said, at the end of the day, I think Cam and Mitch and all of them, unless Mitch gets traded in some kind of package. But I don't think many people want to go to the Bears. Unless there's some package with Mitch, I think he'll be like, he'll be one of those dominoes that fall later on in the bunch. So, yeah, let me get up out of first quarter because I could talk for a while about just all this action and juiciness. So we'll go up and run over the second quarter. And for quarter number 2, we're gonna me being a gamer myself, love my games. They're healthy for you. They're good for you. I don't care what nobody say. Parents used to say, rot your brain. Now people are getting filthy rich off of video games. But all my gamers keep gaming. And we on this COD, Warzone, Black Ops, Season 2. It's supposed to be cracking. It looks like, let me clear out my NFL tab that I just had fresh right there. But yeah, it looks like Season 2 is going to be 3 days. It's going to be on the 25th. It doesn't bring the map change to Warzone like most people want it to. But as the poster goes, you go to the Call of Duty website, to the blog, it shows a ship approaching, and there's a trailer for it. I thought the trailer was mad cool. I think they do a really good job of engaging their audience that they have captured and are gaining steam with, and leaving them on the edge. Like people are ready. We're ready. I mean, people that play this game are ready, and even people that just in the game, they're ready. They're interested to see what Activision does with Season 2 here. And as far as the big thing is Warzone, and it looks like, so what makes sense to me is that this ship has bad stuff on it. I guess it was a radio call. I guess players are getting. I haven't been in Verdansk in a while. I've been on Black Ops, just grinding Black Ops. But follow me on Twitch, by the way. Coach D _ on Twitch. Plug, yeah, whatever. Yeah. So I've been on Black Ops. So it looks like people are getting calls in the pregame lobby, and it looks like the ship is saying something about, we got bad stuff on the ship. We're coming in. We need help. Whatever. So I'm guessing it's either zombies or something that's going to make zombies. So in the Black Ops Outbreak experience, I have a feeling they're not necessarily connected, but I think they're going to try to make them connected. The Outbreak is in Black Ops, but I think the Outbreak actually happens in Verdansk, and zombies overtake it, and then the nukes are there. The nukes have been set up to blow something up, whatever gets off that boat is radioactive or whatever. Whatever it does, it overruns Verdansk. They send out the nukes, nuke it, and a new map. I mean, they should nuke it. I mean, a whole year of a map. I don't think people just really want to play that map anymore. I don't think it needs to be there anymore. You just nuke it. Fortnite does something a little bit different with their maps, and they've done a wonderful job with the maps, of how they change the landscape around and do things of that nature. So even if they blow up whatever, but they need to do something with the map. So we'll see how that goes on the year anniversary. I'm sure something will come after the Outbreak zombie experience on Black Ops. So that's the Black Ops side. Then there's new weapons that everybody loves new weapons. New weapons are cool. Obviously the battle pass, and then there's new characters. I don't really follow the story. I don't follow the story on anything because I don't care about the story. I want to shoot people. That is the goal. I'm not engaged in what Adler's doing and this, that, and the third. There's new operators. It's a challenge to unlock their suits. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't care how they come in the game. Warzone does have 2 new modes: Exfiltration and Resurgence Extreme. Something for people that don't want to be running around getting hunted down in Warzone. They can play something different. Love Activision for that. One of my favorites, Gun Game, is coming back to the Black Ops side. Love Gun Game. New Score Street, Death Machine. That should be fun. And there's some new maps. The new maps should be good, because I do think a lot of the maps on Black Ops they're just not for me. I don't mind when I play them, but there's some that I want to skip. And one of the ones that I skip the most is Miami, and they're supposedly fixing it a little bit. Miami could be a good map if you get rid of a lot of the junk out of the way. And then the back sections of the map are just stupid. Like where you spawn on either end is just dumb. So maybe hopefully they fix Miami up. I'm sure they could have got somebody in there to kind of, it's a lot of content creators out there and people that done these games for a while. Fix it up. Like make it, that's a map that you have. That's a map where one of the bigger maps that most people just don't want to play. So when you play on the larger scale maps, you really only have 3 to pick from instead of the 4. So you gotta make sure all those maps are solid. People like those modes, and I just think it's, these companies invest. These companies put so much, or say they put so much into the game, and then you realize like, wait, you didn't. Like you cheated us in these aspects. Now, I don't think that's even necessary. You get people to test these games and things of that nature, and you didn't see the, yeah. But that's my mini rant on Miami. So supposedly they're gonna fix it a little bit, and obviously there'll be some nerfs and things of that nature, and obviously in Warzone there's gonna be some broken guns and things. So that'll be fun to watch and play, and see how that goes. So. Yeah, it'll be interesting to jump in. I think zombies is going to be the theme here. I think that is going to overall revolve around Verdansk and how Warzone works, and if it gets really good or the map absolutely sucks. If there is a new map and it sucks, that's gonna suck. So I hope they really put it in there right. What I think would have been cool if the outbreak was, I mean, they did a zombie Halloween thing, but it would have been kind of cool if before they nuked Verdansk, they put in a mode where you did that in Warzone, where you fought the zombies with 150 people and you fought the zombies and you had to survive or whatever. There was rounds for people to go through and things of that nature. So team squads fought each other and zombies, and I thought that might have been a good idea. I don't know if the engine would even support all of that action. Probably not. I don't think you could have that many players and zombies, and it may not work. So, but that would have been awesome. I think that would have been the way, and that would make sense to nuke it because zombies. And that's just me. Just the gears in here be going, boy. I tell you what, boy, them gears be moving. The other multiplayer mode is stockpile. Have no idea what that is. Probably won't play it. But yeah, Cold War, Warzone, Call of Duty, Season 2. February 25th. I'm gonna be on it. I'm gonna be rocking out. Yeah, so we got a halftime here. Halftime. Need some dances, some performers. You know what I'm saying? All right, so running into the third quarter here. Third quarter here. I have the Brooklyn, we go hard. Let's see, Brooklyn Nets. Third quarter, right at the halftime, the Nets is taking it out. So, big trade happened, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. I think they played, I don't know, I get the line. They played a good amount of games, and it works. It's overall it works. I actually did think originally that just having Harden and Kyrie on the same team was silly, but as soon as I heard Kyrie say, I told him, you're the point guard, I'm the shooting guard. To me, that changes everything. That changes everything. So I remember Harden played this, I want to say it was the first game. And after that, he was like, I just got to get my point guard skills back. And I was thinking, like, I don't know how Kyrie going to feel about that. But now with Kyrie saying, you're the point guard, you do that ball handling, that clears the air. Everything clears the air. And I think that changes everything, in my opinion. But, I'm sure they're all cool. So I'm sure they talked before, it even went down. So they probably had an understanding of what they were going to do. Now, as far as playoff goes, because that's what matters and that's what people are talking about, they're going to get to the playoffs. They're going to roll into the playoffs. The question is that will teams be able to slow them down? Because they won't be able to slow teams down. They just won't. They will not, unless Kyrie just learns how to move his feet and gets defensive principles in the next 2 to 3 months, and James as well, and they possibly get some kind of center to back up DeAndre Jordan. Because if you're depending on Jeff Green, to play center and hit threes for you, that's going to be tough. It can be done. I mean, they can outscore everybody in the league 4 games out of 7. That can happen. That for sure can happen. They can outscore. They can score 134 times out of 7 games. They're going to have the home court at least 3 of those times. 3 of those, they're going to light you up. So I just don't know as far as like Philly Bucks. If the Bucks just, which I think they will, tighten up the screws, and Giannis, Middleton, and Drew figure it out as far as their big three, then they should be able to beat the Nets. They definitely should be able to beat the Nets. Philly, I do think the Nets are better than Philly because I just don't trust Joel Embiid. I don't. And then Boston, when Marcus Smart comes back, when they mesh back up, and I said depending on the big situation with all those teams, because Boston's big situation, even though Robert Williams played really well against New Orleans this weekend, those are the Nets competition, and all those teams can all beat each other. So that'll be fun to watch there in the semifinals. Those will be the 4 teams unless some crazy injuries happen. Those will be the 4 teams. But the experiment works. They can play defense. Coaching isn't a thing. I mean, I guess Kyrie was right. We all can coach the team. Coaching won't really be a thing. I mean, they're just really pushing the ball up. Durant makes a play. Kyrie makes a play. Harden makes a play. Pick and roll up to DeAndre Jordan. And that's going to be the offense. Paul George said when they played, not just yesterday, the time before, it was like they were just taking turns scoring on them. So that's what they're going to do. I mean, that's what they're going to do. And then lately, outside of the Phoenix game, which they should have lost, Phoenix just choked. They covered everything. So if you're betting, you've been putting your money on the Nets, then you're nice the last 5 games. They've actually had some unders here, which is pretty crazy. But to cover the last 5 and to win that road trip, I figured they would beat the Lakers. I always thought they'd beat the Lakers. That was even before Anthony Davis got hurt. I think they match up well against the Lakers. But what's so crazy about the Nets is I think they match up very well against the Lakers with Anthony Davis. But the rest of the Western Conference, I don't think they match up with the Clippers well. The Clippers will actually play some defense Clippers will play some D, and they're gonna grind the Nets. If they play 7 games, they're gonna grind. They'll grind the Nets down. At least Nets gonna have to outscore them. I mean, it's going 7 if the Nets have a shot. But the Clippers, Phoenix, I think. Phoenix, I don't think they match up well at all against Phoenix. I don't think the Nets match up well against Phoenix. Phoenix aren't the greatest, but with Chris Paul, there's nobody to guard Chris Paul, nobody, and then nobody to guard Devin Booker. So I mean, KD could guard one of them, I guess, but then there's nobody to guard DeAndre Ayton either. So it's weird, and then Phoenix has guys that can guard Harden and Durant. They have long guys that can guard Harden and Durant, and then Chris Paul can obviously guard Kyrie. So Phoenix matches up really well against them, and then Utah. Utah is just that other team that obviously will be finals matchups. But if Utah got there, Utah just matches up well against everybody. Strangely enough. So yeah, as far as obviously what this segment is about. Is the Nets, is that they'll probably wind up as the number 1 team in the East, number 1 or number 2, because I do think the teams behind them, let's see, standings. So I do think, let's see, NBA, I not see the, so I do think the teams that they're in front, it'll be Philly, they're actually in the same division. So those teams and Milwaukee, they'll be fighting. They'll all be trying to get everybody wants that home court. I mean, hopefully maybe not. By that time, some fans will be in the stands. So it'll be nice to have home court advantage. And they'll all keep battling for to try to stay at the top of the East. But Brooklyn I do think they'll have a good chance to finish 1. I think Milwaukee and Philly will have a strong chance as well to finish 1. So we'll see. And then KD staying healthy. KD, AD, and everybody. I hate predicting early on in seasons. I have an idea of who will make playoff slots, But to predict who's going to make the playoffs, I just don't really like to do because injuries rear their ugly head every single sport. And in basketball and football, mainly, if your key guys get hurt, it's really, really hard to bounce back from that. Obviously, baseball too, and soccer, I suppose, as well. But basketball, football, you lose the quarterback, is the best. You lose your best player, you're probably done. So, as long as people stay healthy, I hope everybody stays healthy. It'll really be interesting to see if the Nets can pull this thing off because, like I said, they can outscore every single team in the league. I just don't know if they can do it 4 out of 7 times. They're going to have to. You envision, most people believe you're going to have to play defense at some point, but maybe not. All right, so throw your foes up. You know how we do around here. We throw our foes up for the fourth quarter. And once again, I don't have something juicy, spicy, hot latte on the map for quarter number 4. I just got something kind of fun and cheeky, actually. And let me get it up here. Overrated, double F, is fast food chains. So the top and this is in the US, the top fast food chains in the US are McDonald's, Starbucks, Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell, Burger King, Subway, Wendy's, Dunkin', Domino's, Panera are the top 10. McDonald's is, I don't even count McDonald's in my argument here. They're overrated. McDonald's overrated, but they don't even count. Now, Chick-fil-A is where my beef lies at. And In-N-Out, which In-N-Out I think is like 30 something or whatnot. But those two places. So let me back up a little bit too. So I don't really eat that much fast food. Actually, I don't eat fast food really at all. So you would say, yo, D, why are you even talking about this? Because every now and then you might be out or at a friend's house and they're like, I'm gonna order Chick-fil-A or let's go get Chick-fil-A. I probably just gonna grab some fries or something like that. Or if we go to In-N-Out, I could get it animal style. So I don't really mess with bread like that. What's a burger and the fries? Whatever, it's cool. It tastes fresh usually. So those are, one of the two I grab. You won't catch me at the McDonald's. You won't catch me at Wendy's. You won't catch me at Burger King. Subway probably once or twice a year. Dunkin' Donuts they prices for donuts is stupid. I don't mess with pizza. I ain't got a pizza from a Domino's or Pizza Hut in I don't know how long. Panera is good. I don't consider Panera fast food. I think it's like fast casual. I think it should fall under fast casual, but I think fast casual is fast food. I think it's just like a cute way to say it. But Chick-fil-A and In-N-Out are really the two that my beef really sits at. Let's just KFC's 13, Pizza's 12. Oh, Chipotle is one of the ones I want to talk about. Is that Chipotle, Panda is 17, Arby's is 15, Sonic is 14, which I was kind of surprised about. I'm sorry, and this is from 2019. These stats are from 2019. Yeah, I'm sure when we get 2020, I'll be really interested to see 2020 numbers. I'll probably run this back when the 2020 numbers come out. I guess they should probably be out. No, they wouldn't be. It's just the beginning of the year. I don't know when did this come out. I don't know when they published this stuff. Oh, this came out in September 2020 for this article. So who knows when the numbers all get out. They'll probably take a while to get financial statements and stuff. But yeah, I'm rambling right now. But Five Guys at 27, Shake Shack's 34. Yeah, In-N-Out's at 33. So, but I think if it was a global chain, it would be much bigger because just the hype is crazy. But my beef basically lies with Chick-fil-A and In-N-Out. I think they're the most overrated, I think, chains. I would have to dig a little more to see. I could just think of like Applebee's and I don't know what else is like chain wise that people go to. Buffets, maybe a hometown. I don't know if that's how big Fridays or something like that might be. But yeah, I mean the lines to wait. To wait that long for chicken tenders. I do like Chick-fil-A's fries. I do think they're really solid fries. Their fries and Mr. Hero, one of my favorite fries. But to wait that long for your food is just despicable in my opinion. Like if I go to In-N-Out, if it's a line, I'm not waiting. Like I'll like I know at the specific In-N-Outs, depending on how many cars are in front. Like if I can't get in the driveway, or if it's like maybe it's like a 6 or 7 car count that I can see, I'll get in line. That's probably like 7-8 minutes probably. But there's no way I'm waiting 30 minutes, 25 minutes for a burger and fries or chick. It's not even chicken. It's chicken tenders and nuggets, boneless chicken. Like I don't do shakes, nothing like that. So I mean, I guess some of that stuff may change it. Animal fries at In-N-Out, maybe. But I'm just not waiting that long for food. I'd rather go spend a little bit extra money and go get a burger from somewhere that gives you a nice burger, you know what I'm saying? To go get some actual chicken. Not, yeah. Starbucks is, I'm not a Starbucks person, so I'm not even going to say if it's overrated or not. It probably does fall in my overrated category, so I'm sure you can go somewhere. But the only difference is with Starbucks is that you can get what you need pretty quickly. Now, same concept though. There's a lot of Starbucks with enormous lines. That would make it like, I don't know. Like it's a coffee shop down the street, you can get your coffee real quick. So I don't know. But I do think the places with that, I do think hype food is just overrated, especially in the fast food realm, because I don't think it's worth it. I just do not think it's worth your time or money to have to wait for that type of food. You know, I even get, you know, when you sit down in restaurants too for like a bit of an experience, and sometimes like I have an argument about, you know, what's a $80 steak worth? You waited to sit down and then you waited to, you know, cook it and then eat it. What's that worth? You know, so, but you don't do that every day. That's not something you do all the time. So that's different too. But some of these places, I get it. I totally understand why people love it and it's their thing and they fan out for it and things of that nature. But to me, those two places are just like, nah, like I don't even really, you know, I said, if somebody order it and I'm there, you know, I'll, you know, grab me some Chick-fil-A fries. I'm not eating that chicken. That ain't even, that ain't even real chicken. Like, give me some fries. In-N-Out, I said, I mess with the burger, even though I ain't really trying to. The only reason I do is they can make it with a lettuce wrap. So, you know, I'm good. And, you know, why not have a little snack? That's what it is too. It's a snack. It ain't even nothing that's gonna fill me up. So yeah, just interesting to find. And then which is actually cool to see too, like the selling categories, like burgers do 81.6 billion. The snack category, which Starbucks and Dunkin' fall in, is 36. Chicken is 27 billion. Chipotle, Taco Bell, Panda Express are the top 3 global restaurants. So yeah, Taco Bell, I won't even talk about Taco Bell. I won't call it overrated because you don't really wait that long for it. And then it's like fast Mexican food, I guess you could say. And I mean, that's probably disrespectful saying that, so some people would be angry. It's not, but it's that category and it's not that much of that. So I do understand why people go and grab their Taco Bell stuff. And then pizza was 20.4, which I thought would be higher. And sandwiches are 26. I thought pizza would be higher than sandwiches. So that's interesting. So I may run this back for another episode just to see just the 2020 numbers. But yeah, those two overrated. Call me crazy, but at least you're calling. Thanks for watching. This was episode 3 of Play Some D. Excuse me. please like up the video. Please subscribe. I'll be back next week, episode 4. Gotta think of something to talk about though. All right. Anyway, until next time, holla.